Okay, I pressed record. So now when I get into the class, we'll actually be talking about what I told everyone we're going to talk about. And then, of course, we will get distracted with any questions you have and go from there. One of the things I'm going to talk about today, I was going to kind of focus on designs. And the reason for that is that so often we have ideas and we don't know how, I'm not a graphic designer, and I had signed up for Canva for a little bit, and that was—
What is Canva?
Canva is like an online graphic design program, and it's not very expensive. It's like maybe you start off at maybe $10 or $12 a month, but it's that's another $10 or $12 a month, and I would use it for a couple of days and then not use it, and then after 3 months I realized I'm still paying for this and I'm not using it, so I canceled my subscription, and because Commands wasn't working very well at the time. Well, they have in Command, they have something called Designs, and it has gotten a lot better, and so I have started playing around with it. And this, I'm on a Canva Facebook group because I just like to look at other people's ideas, and it's a sharing group, so anything they put on there, they're saying you have permission to to look at it and share it and copy it and all this stuff. So I'm not stealing it, but I will be the first person to admit that I'm much better at copying something than coming up with it on my own, especially if it's graphic design. But I like this. Can y'all see this transaction timeline?
I like that.
Isn't that cute? I had something that I was using that I'm going to pull up what I was using, and you'll see why I like theirs so much. Because let's see. Let me see. Important dates. I have this one I created in Command. Can y'all see the one that says under contract now? I can't tell what everybody sees. Okay, so it's red and it's gray. And I would do this. I would send the binding agreement date, the earnest money due, all this stuff. And it looks okay. It's not great, but I mean, it kind of was a little more specialized than, like, say, just an email with a bunch of dates. And I would send this to everyone that I went under contract with, buyers or sellers. I would just change it. So, I mean, it was okay. But then I saw, well, doggone it, where did it go? Let me see if I can find the one that I was showing y'all. All my windows get lost here. Here it is. Okay, which screen am I sharing with y'all? Is it showing Command or is it showing my transaction guide again?
Both.
Oh, okay. Well, so then I saw this one online and I'm like, well, that one's much prettier. So I'm going to make me a prettier one. So, but of course you can't just like drag and drop, because this is, I mean, it's specific to this particular closing. So what I'm going to show y'all how I did it is I'm going to show you how I did it in Command. So here's my command. Can you see my command now? Okay. So here's your home page. I'm gonna go up here on the left. There's a little house. This is your home page where you kind of, usually it opens up to automatically. What you're gonna do is you can go down to designs. And it's this one with a little paintbrush. And I tried to get rid of some of I have so many like things I've played with. And you can see this is where I was practicing my resource guide. I have resource guide, resource guide, resource guide, because it wouldn't publish like it said it was going to. So I would just try it again, and then it would make another copy. And so now I have no idea which one is being used, and I'm scared to delete any of them. But right here is my transaction timeline. So I made my own. Y'all, hold on. Is my dishwasher too loud? I'm gonna open it and turn that thing off. Okay. Fun part of working from home, right? So I started with a blank template of just a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And if I can open it back up. And what I did is I had one open on one screen and one on the other. And then I just kind of went line by line and just copied it. I think I have the same font for the script. I couldn't find the same one for transaction in my plain font. But I'm going to show you how I went about making this, because I think something like this would be super helpful to have. Maybe not this exact template. You may want to do something, something else, but I'll kind of give you an idea of how we made each of these elements. So I'm going to go down to my designs again. I'm going to make a piece right here at the top. You have email, landing page, social, print, agent site, and video. I'm going to do for print. So here are all the different things I have made that are printed out. And so here you can see the one I had made originally. And I usually just update it with the new stuff and then print it out off and save it for each contract. I don't necessarily just make a new one every time. But you can see I've been playing with fonts and different designs for a long time. But right here, you go down here to the bottom on the right hand side, it has a little plus sign. And you get to choose. Do I want email, social, print, video, or import a PDF? I'm going to do a print again. Because most of the time what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them a PDF. You can also send a link to these if you want. So someone, a lot of times I have a friend or my husband proofread stuff for me just to make sure that I'm not embarrassing myself. And please do that, especially if you know grammar and spelling is not your forte. You really need to have someone do that. Let's see. So right here, these are all the templates that Keller Williams has designed already. So if you have time, go through these things and look at the different things they have available. I really think a lot of the frustration with Command is that we are not aware of all that it does and all that it does do. I don't have time to spend, I think it would take me 40 hours a week just to figure out all these things. And you ain't got time for that. So I'm going to go to my designs. Up here at the top, you have templates, my designs, and brand assets. And you can, yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Good morning. This is Sharon.
Good morning.
For you. So these templates that are already in Command, these pre-templates are templates that we can advertise with?
Yes, these are particularly for the app. So this is for the app. These are different ways you can customize the app. This one right here, these are for listings. Like if you want, these are all the designs for listings. Do you want door hangers? Do you want flyers? Do you want postcards? Do you want bifolds? Do you want trifolds? These are for just listed. Do you want a door hanger, a bifold? I mean, and all you do, and I'm going to show you just real quick. Okay, so I just listed a property, and a lot of these are a little bit right now, we can't really use them because who has time to send out just listed postcards by the time they arrive? I mean, the house is under contract. It just makes people angry. So we're not really using these, but I'm going to say, let's say use this one. Because once you get into it, it's just a snap to use. So I'm going to, okay, here's the KWDBA. I'm going to swap that. Here's this. I have my logos uploaded into Command. You have access to these through the KW intranet. You can download them and then you upload them to your designs and they're there for every time you go in there. You just hit this replace. Oh, and look, well, there's mine right there. And well, you can't really see that one real well. So I'm going to change it to this one. And that one doesn't look great. I'm going to change it to this one. Okay, so that's still not very great, is it? Well, that looks terrible. Okay, well, anyhow, I'm just going to do, okay, I'm just going to use this one. So I have it automatically updated with my logo. That's great. To do, I'm gonna make the pages go down. I can change this to, see, you have to make sure you spell circle right, because I mean, so you just go in here and I could find a picture. Now I don't have a picture of a house right here easily accessible, but I could upload pictures right here. I could just say, I'm going to swap that out.
Okay, so this would allow us to upload pictures of houses that we've already sold.
Well, or houses that you've just listed, or things like that.
Okay.
Now to get to this one right here, how to do all the upside down stuff, I don't know. I'd have to figure out how we're supposed to do it without it being upside down. But we'd figure that out.
You turn it right there. You see what a little circle thing is? You click on that and circle it around.
Well, yeah, you can, but this is made so you do it like this. So when you fold it, it's going to be facing the right direction.
Okay. Yes.
So I know there's some way I can get it to where it doesn't make me crazy when I'm actually playing with it. But that's kind of one of those things. But these are some of the things that you can do.
Okay.
I have all these unsaved changes. Now I'm not saying don't save. I don't need to save all that. But you see how they have all these flyers that you can just use. I mean, they're super easy. Now, of course, they use beautiful pictures. And of course, these are very few of us have now some of us have luxury listings. I do not have luxury listings as much as I would love them. So I don't, so we would want to change these to something we don't want, we want to make sure we're using the right pictures and stuff. But then you have, those are your templates. These are all the different template sections they have. Then you can go to My Designs. Okay, so these are some of, these are where I was practicing. You see Charis test, Charis magazine test. These are where I play with all these things. And these are where just different ones I have done over my time playing with Command. One thing that is cool, I'm just going to show you this one real quick. If you have, next time you do headshots or something like that, have them make some like crazy shots too, like of you like pointing off to one side, or like here you can see I'm just being silly with the camera, but you can send those pictures off and have them made into a transparent background. So then I can drag and drop this picture and it's just me that drags and drops. So I don't have to worry about, it's not going to be a box with a thought thing coming out of it. And I went to a neighborhood, this is before the market got so crazy, and I handed these out and actually got several calls back. And then of course my buyers decided they didn't want that neighborhood. So then I was like, oh, I feel stupid. But anyhow, so these are the designs that I have done. And they're fun. You can, right here, you have start from blank, import PDF files, or use a template. This will take me back to the previous window. For this transaction timeline, I'm going to just start from blank. And these are the sizes: custom size, a social, wide, and they use pixels. I don't know how those translate. I would have to Google it to find out what size that actually means. But you have here, you have a Twitter, like if you use Twitter or you use LinkedIn or you do social stories, you could make something that is already the right size for a Facebook story or Instagram story. Those are important. You have door hangers, a flyer, a letter, a postcard, a portrait, or you have like jumbo postcards, standard postcards, all of those things. I'm going to do a flyer, which is letter size. Okay, so right here, basically, I am in a design, just a module where it's basically just a graphic design portion. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put my logo on there. I'm going to say, okay, I want to do the logo. It needs to be right here because I want it to always reinforce that I work for Keller Williams, Lake Oconee. And of course, it's not really a marketing piece what I'm using it for, but we always want to make sure we represent Keller Williams, right? So then right here you have this is going to come up as different sizes and text blocks. So the difference here is if I do a title, I can make it bigger or make it smaller by dragging this right here. So I'm going to do, yeah. And I can just pull it out to the side and make it one big word. And if I, oh, wait a minute, that's too big. So I'm just going to drop it down. Okay, so if I did that with a text block, it's going to come in like this. And if I drag it, it does some of the same thing, but you can you get a lot more. It's not going to automatically be like a title or something like that. And they have these inserts, they're going to come in Latin. So make sure you change it to what you want it to be. One thing that you want to learn to be consistent with is your fonts, and that I'm working on. So I have made a note on my my phone that I just have my preferred design fonts. So for this clean font right here, just a very clean, straightforward font, I decided I liked Open Sans. So I'm going to go up here, if I can get it. I did this so you can do condensed, which I like. Oh, that, you know, that might be the right one for that particular. And you see how it has all this space around it? I don't know why it does that, but I can kind of drag that around. And I don't have these in exactly where I want them yet, but that's okay. I'm going to do another title, and I'm going to do transaction timeline, because that was what we had, right? And so I know the other font that I liked is the Allison script. If I can. Okay. So now I can drag and drop like this. Oh, wait a minute, not enough room. So I'm going to pull this one down a little bit. I'll make this one a little bit smaller. It's just, it makes it, it's pretty easy to just kind of drag and drop, really. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little text block. Let's see, body text is probably the right one. I'm going to do the name and the address right here, because I need for my, these all need to be specific, right, for a particular client. So I'm going to put name. And then I'm going to make this, you can usually just say this is a template, so you wouldn't put a name in there until you actually have a transaction. But I'm going to start using these myself. Okay, I don't know if, can y'all still see me in the little window? Okay, I'm going to hold this up. This is a transaction thing that Kelly Littleton made for their office, and I thought it was so cute. And so I've been printing these off and using them, and it just has like our branding, the closing checklist. It has the purchase price, the property address, the attorney, is it a mail away, stuff like that. I keep one of these. I'm going to start kind of using the same transaction timeline. I'm going to make me something that's very similar to the one that I hand out to my clients, to have all that information, because she has a lot of information on there that I don't necessarily need. But I'm going to, what I would normally do is come in here and add my name. Now this font is really big, so I'm going to change that down to say 30. And then I'm going to say address. If you wanted to put the whole address in there, you could. I'm not going to, and this is still a little bit too big. So do that. Okay, so then, now this is a little bit of a shortcut. If you don't want to go and add a title and make it sure it's the right font and all that stuff, you can hit copy. Well, you know, you select what you want, you hit Control C and then Control V. Just unclick it and Control V, and it does the exact same thing over here. So now what I have is, I'm going to pull this up so I can see it. And I'm going to put this on my other monitor. Okay, because I can't remember, but I'm going to change what it says. This, in this portion of the flyer, I want it to say contract overview. I want it to be wider, but I don't want it to be quite that big. So I'm going to pull it down like this. And then the next section is like all the details of the contract. And so I'm going to have a lot more information there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a text block and I'm going to type it all in. And it doesn't select like you would think it would. So you're going to have, I like the way this girl did it in all caps for this. So I'm going to do this, purchase price. But this again, it's gone back to that other font, and I want to be very consistent with my fonts. So you can see even here where I have my name and address, it didn't use the right font. So I'm going to select that and go back up here to my fonts and open. Open Sans condensed. Okay. I'll change the font here. Okay. So let's just say purchase price. I'm going to go down. The next one she had said is contributing $5,000 towards. It's a little bit tricky to get the the spacing right, but you'll have to play with that. I'm just going to do a couple more things. Back in the days when sellers actually used to contribute to things, right? Items that stay. Like this would probably be important if if anything was asked for in the contract, like a fridge or an extra, the porch swing. Okay. And if you don't have very much right here, then add a space. Sometimes it'll look better if you add a space in there. And this font may be too big, and so I'm going to have to play with it and just see. I'm going to put on here closing date April 16th. And y'all are hearing my son because he's home from school today. So, okay, wait a minute, that's a little bit too big. So I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to make it bigger. But I think probably, since I'm going to have 2 columns, that should be about right there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I need to do a to-do list. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to hit Control C. I'm going to unclick it, Control V, and then it automatically put it right here. So I want to get rid of, I don't want it to say contract overview again. I'm going to say to-do list, because we all have things that the seller or the buyer needs to do, right? The next thing I want to do is a body text again. And sometimes, okay, this has gone back to that other font again. So what I'm going to do is like, you know what, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to Control copy that one. And oh, look, here it is right here. I can delete this one. I can make this one already has the right font. And y'all, my dishwasher is making noises again. I'll be right back. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so now I have, what do you know, the font has gone back. That's crazy. These are some of the quirks that you're going to run into, but just check it. I'm going to go back and open. Okay. So, of course, the to-do list is a little different. It doesn't include all of this stuff. So I'm going to say the first thing is deliver earnest money to attorney. Schedule home inspection. Let's see. She has around here, she has a couple of things that I don't necessarily do or are on my checklist, not my buyers. So I'm going to say Well, if I can type, where is it? And she has all of hers on here as all uppercase, and I'll probably go back and change that because I want my design to be consistent. I'm a nervous typer, y'all. When people are watching me, I misspell things. Anyhow, I'll go back and change all of those things. So this can be, of course, like customized because it might be different for each homeowner. One of the things like with a to-do list, you want to have a checkbox, right? And in Canva, you just add checkbox. Here, we don't have that. So I go back to somewhere in here, they let us add shapes. Okay, so at the top of your screen, you have a little shape thing. I want to make it a square. Oh, well, that's just too big. And it's, of course, the wrong color. So I'm going to change it to where the stroke color, which is the outline color, is a dark gray. And the fill color, I don't want to have anything in the middle. So this is none. Okay, so now I can drag that way down. And you know what, that's too light. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna change the outline. I'm gonna change it just to regular black. Well, then you have fill color is none. Stroke color should be black. It's still dark gray. We'll just play with that later on. But I'm gonna drag it over here. I'm gonna make sure I want it next to each of these items. But I do not want to go through that whole process every time. So I'm just going to hit Control C, Control V. I have another one. And you see how these little lines show up? That's what helps you line them up. It'll show if they're in line. Okay, so now my to-do list also has check boxes. Okay, are there any questions about this so far? You see how you can use this as graphic design stuff? It's fairly straightforward. Now, a lot of these need to be like moved around. This is kind of, I want to move this over here, make this a little more spacious. One of the things that she has on hers is a line right here to separate that. And I think that's important. So I'm going to add a line. So let's see, I'm going to draw a line. Okay, so to get there, I go to drawing, hit line. I'm say, you know what, let's add a little line right there. Kind of make some separation so you can see it. And you snap it, it should be straight. You can draw them, at different angles and stuff, but I want it to be straight. Let's see, the other thing that she has on hers is contract deadlines. And of course, she's using this same font right here. So I'm just going to copy and paste this one because I want to make sure I'm using the same exact size if I can. Contract deadlines. Okay. So there. So the way she's done hers, I'm going to pull this over so you can see it again. And if any of y'all want me to send you this, I can put it in the chat. But I think this is a good idea because so many of these things are just important. She has them shaded alternately. So you can make sure you keep it separate in your head, how these are done. So when I was doing mine, I don't have anything in here yet. I made the shaded boxes and then I'll go in and add my dates as needed. So I'm going to actually, if I can find my Zoom box again. This is so sad. It just disappears all the time. Stop share. Here's my chat. I'm going to add this file if I can figure out how to add it. Oh, this is so sad. There we go. I keep trying to add it anyway. It's not letting me add the file. Well, it's not letting me add it. I'm sorry. If y'all want to see it, let me know and I'll send it to you. How's that? I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. So she uploaded it. It was a public upload, so so the next thing I want to do is I want to add these alternating squares. So I go up here, I'm going to do a shape. I want to make it a square again, or I guess you could have done a rectangle. They don't need to be very big, right? Because we're just doing small things. And of course here is just a black outline, and I don't want that. I want to make it where there's no outline, but I want the fill color to be like a light gray. And that's still a little bit too dark. And to get to that light gray, you could go in here and find something really light if you wanted to, like maybe that one. Okay, that's a little better because I don't want it to be very different. I just want it to create some separation, right? And I know I'm going to need a bunch of these, so I'm just going to hit Control C, Control V, and I'm going to just copy a bunch of them. And you can just keep hitting Control V. See, I accidentally drug it there. So, and you can make these different sizes. So I'm just going to make a bunch of them. Okay. And when you're setting them up, you have these lines they'll click to. So I know that that's where I kind of wanted it to be. Okay, so now that one's lined up with that one. I'm going to use those blue dotted lines to make sure it lines up. No, that's not right. Graphic design is just not my thing, and I can get so frustrated with it. But okay, so now I have these backdrops, these boxes I can do, but of course it doesn't have what I need. I need it to have text in it, right? So I'm going to say, let's make a subtitle box. I'm going to say that the let's see. Ooh, that's way big, but we'll change that in a second. One is binding. Okay, this girl I think was from Florida, so she's gonna have hers is a little bit different. That's way too big. I'm gonna take this down to 18. I'm gonna take it and open up the one that I liked, the font that I liked. And I'm going to drag it down here on top of my colored box. So you see how that kind of creates a little bit of separation there. And I like that size, so I'm going to copy and paste that. And I'm going to do the next one. The next one is, you can say 305 is when okay, so the earnest money is due. That's the next thing on their, these are their contract deadlines, right? I'm gonna copy and paste it again and make my next one. Okay, the next one is, we're gonna say that it's the 12th. We're gonna say this is your inspection due date, or due diligence end, or however you want to call it. So I can just kind of go down the entire list and make sure I have every important date on the contract. I can put that down there so they know when each thing is coming. They know the outline of the contract, and they have the to-do list. So this is just one of the things that I'm going to have for my clients, you know, and I'll download it and send it to them in an email. Now, just for fun, I'm not going to do anything more with this, because I think, does everyone kind of have a basic idea of how you would just customize this for your client and for your particular transaction? Any questions about that before I kind of move to the next section? Okay, so I want to title this design. I'm going to title it for just this purpose. I'm going to do command class designs. Okay, so now I can download it right here, or I can share it. So do I want to share this design as an image or the whole like if I made it several pages, I can share all of it. Okay, so here's the design image link right here. And then I'm going to go down here to the chat box, which I cannot find. Dang it, where? I can never find all my Zoom boxes. I have all these different windows. And it never shows me this unless I stop sharing. Okay. So there it is there. Y'all can actually click on that and it will actually pull up the it's in the chat. It should pull up. It's going to take a minute to load. Huh, maybe it won't. Never mind. Hold on. I'm going to say I hadn't saved it. So I'm going to hit save first. Go back and share my screen with you. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into the designs I just created and I'll show you what I did. It showed y'all a blank screen because I had not saved it yet. So I'm going to, as I make a change, I'm gonna say done. And it'll say, do you want to save it? Do save your, well, usually it'll say save it or whatever, but it just saved it automatically. I hadn't made any changes. So I'm gonna go back to it. And this is how you can have, y'all can check each other's work, or if you have a friend or somebody you want to proof it. I'm going to share this design image link, copy. I can put it back in my chat. Seriously, this is so frustrating. Where is my chat at? Okay. That one should show you the correct. So now I just clicked on the link that I sent you in the chat box, and this is what came up on my screen right here. So you can see where it's only partially done because I hadn't finished it. This is how I have my husband check my stuff to make sure I've spelled everything correctly, because that would be pretty bad. But let's see. I'm going to go back to my command. One thing that you do want to make sure you do, doggone, I just lost that thought. I'll think of it later. You can download it and just make sure you hit done so you save any changes. There's nothing worse than coming back and realizing you've lost everything. Okay, so that being said, I've just shown you how to use a basic overview of designs, some of the different things that are there. There are a lot more things set up that you can do in email, landing pages, social things for social media, and then print, agent site, and then a video guide. For
Charis,
yes,
may I ask a question?
go right ahead.
So the up at the top where it says email, landing page, social, those type things, when you click on those, when you click on, like you were gonna, let's say you wanted to click on your social media, can you share the link, or is it a way you open it, or how does it share it there?
Well, okay, so what this was, I'll click on this and show you. This was right as COVID, I was doing this and had this set up, and then COVID hit, and of course it got canceled. So I wanted to create a post for social media that was for a home buying class I was going to be hosting at the library. So when I went to my marketing and my social media, I said I wanted to create a social media post. I wanted it to be for Facebook. So it automatically brought up a template for the size that I needed to use for Facebook. It wasn't going to be oversized. You know, you want to keep in mind people are looking at on their phones. They're looking at in a Facebook window. So they had made it a certain size. So then I just had, basically, I had this outline, the right size, and then I just dragged and dropped everything that I needed to make it the right size. Does that make sense?
So it prompts you, it asks like, is this for a Facebook post or something like that?
Yes, and I'll take you in there and show you how that, I'll walk you through it. Do you have, I thought you had a college class. It was online. Okay, bye. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna try to get us back to KW. Sometimes it freezes right here and you can't really get out without restarting command, but it's letting me this time. It has gotten so much more easy, so much easier to use. It's just much more consistent now, even since family reunion, the things they've done. So if you go down here, the design, I'm just going to designs. I go down here to the little plus box. I hit plus. I'm going to say I want to make a social post. Let me hit next, and it'll ask me what I want to do. So these are, again, these are the just listed. Do I want it a wide one? Do I want it square? Do I want it set up for a story? So if you go on Facebook or Instagram, your stories tend to be more like rectangles or like vertical, and your feed tends to be better for square when you're on your phone, and most people are looking at social media on their phone. So if I say I want it to be just social media, I'm going to say I want this one right here. I'm going to hit use. Okay, so these are the ones they have. You can say this right here. You can, what you would do is you would say, okay, just listed, I'll do this one, 1716 Cedar Wood Road. Okay, it says swipe left. Okay, so that obviously that's not the picture of my listing, but I could, okay, so I've selected the picture that's behind it, and I'm going to just swap it out because I'm listing a lake lot. So I want it to show a lake lot picture behind it. Now, this is not the best. I don't have everything readily available because I'm really just flying by the seat of my pants for what I'm talking to you about now. But let's see if I can. Okay. If I wanted to, I could do something that says, I can see this is the template, so I can say lake lot. I could make this, I could change their template, because if anyone of y'all are more like me, it's going to be easier to change something that's already done than try to come up with something on my own. So I'm going to just say, for our purposes, I'm going to say lake lot. I'm going to hit, I can say, I want to rename it because I don't want to change the template. Lot social. And I'm going to hit done. Save. Okay, so I want to put that as the first picture on a Facebook ad. I've created the social post. It says swipe left. So to create a social media ad with that picture, I would, let's see. I've gone into my campaigns, which is right here, the little megaphone. Create a new campaign. I want to make, let's just do a social post. Let's not do a paid one. So I'm not going to put any text right here. I don't want it to say anything. But I want to choose from designs. Right here, you see where I have the photo, choose from designs, browse the design. There we go. Okay, so it's square. It says best for most placements. if I had done a wide one, I could do a wide thing, but I didn't do a wide one. I did a square one because I knew how I wanted this thing. So I'm going to say, that works for right there. So just listed. This is how, right here on the right, you can see how it's going to look on Facebook. So you can preview your post. It's going to say that right there. Well, obviously it says swipe left, so I need to add some pictures of these lake lots. Well, back to creator. I'm going to upload some images. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to some of my listings. Let's see. Now let's get a better. Choose for upload. Oh, well, it has to be the right size, and these are the wrong size, so I don't know that I'm going to have any I can find off the top of my head. It might let, no. Okay, so anyhow, if I could resize my pictures to be the right size, because obviously I wasn't planning to do this, but what I could do is I could put several pictures over here of this lake lot, and then I could go down and I could schedule this post. I could say, I want this to pop up at 6 in the morning on Friday. So when someone's drinking their coffee, they're going to see my thing. It says just listed a lot in, Lake Sinclair, and they'll be able to just swipe and see the pictures. I'm not paying for it. It's going to go straight to my regular Facebook business account. You have to have a business account to advertise on Facebook. For you to post from command to your Facebook account, it has to be a business thing. And right here, it says, when would you like to post? You can schedule the post or publish immediately. And it has down here a little tip. The best days to post are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. You want to get people while they're drinking their coffee. Most people check social media before work, at lunch, and usually like when they're sitting on the couch after supper, like 9, 10 o'clock at night. So I want to publish it. Let's see, let's do it Friday morning. Let's do it at, if you come on down, you can do 6. I want to do AM. So Friday morning at 6 AM. And then it says, which page do you want to do it? Or do you want to do it to all your pages? I have multiple pages because I had a home buyer workshop planned, and that didn't, COVID changed everything. But I could post it to one or all of them if I wanted to. I have several business Facebook pages attached, but for right now, I would just do Charis, Barker, Keller Williams, Lake Oconee, and then I would just hit schedule up here at the top right, and my little design that I created in like 5 minutes for in design templates. That's all it took. And you can do as many of those as you want at no cost. Now, if you want to do an ad where you're collecting data where it's automatically sending you, that's a whole different class, and we'll have to do those again, but I have those posted in the Facebook groups too. So any more questions about that?
I do have a question, Charis. And I'm new to this, so this really might be a really dumb question.
It's okay. Nope, no dumb questions.
So we are creating my Facebook business page. Should that be done just through Facebook, or should it be done through command?
You need to create it first on Facebook.
Gotcha.
Let me show you, in case any of y'all have not done this. I'm going to take y'all into Facebook and we'll walk through it real fast. Okay, so right here, this is my my Facebook feed. So here's my name, and then you have a little plus sign. It says create. Do I want to do a post, a story, a room, or a page? You want to make sure that you have a page for your business, and it needs to clearly show, it's just like signage. It has to clearly show your logo and your broker. It has to have your broker's information on there. It has to have your information on there. It has to be clear that you are a real estate agent. And so what you want to do, anything you are posting on behalf of your business, like ads for listings or for buyer listings or for who wants to sell, all of that stuff needs to be on your business page, because you have to clearly identify yourself as a real estate agent to be in compliance, right? So you put it on that page.
Is your business page a sub page of your regular Facebook account?
Not, they're connected. You would be an automatic administrator of your Facebook page. So I'm like an administrator for several pages. I can go up here and let's see, here are the pages that I moderate. I manage Keller Williams, Lake Oconee. Here's my home buyer workshop, the different ones I've made. Keller Williams, Lake Oconee. These are the ones that like I'm helping manage the pages. So I can go into each of these and post, or if someone posts something inappropriate, I can delete it. Or if they send something and it has to be moderated, I can accept it or deny it. So I could create a new page if I wanted to.
So would somebody go into your regular Facebook page and then go into your business page? Because I thought that a business page was separate from your regular account. Am I not?
It is. It is, and it's a promotional page. Like it shows, and this is something I just learned this past week. And this is something you might want to take note of. This was something in that social media class we had during team meeting. He said one of the biggest mistakes he sees people making is that they have their employer as Keller Williams Lake Oconee or Keller Williams AME, which is true. I mean, you work under their umbrella, but we're subcontractors. We work for ourselves. And so when someone clicks our work number, the calls are going to go to the office, or they're going to go to Keller Williams corporate. Us getting those leads is slim to none. So he was like, make sure you are employed by your own page. So in my profile, this is my personal page. I'm going to say my intro, I can edit that to say I work at Keller Williams AME or Keller Williams Lake Oconee. No, I make it the page that I manage for myself, which is Charis Barker Keller Williams Lake Oconee. So, you want to make it where you have a page that you manage specifically for your business. You are going to, it's not the same as your personal page. You can run ads and stuff like that, but that's the one that has to stay in compliance. And you can use those posts and share them on your personal page if you want to. Let me show you my business page. If I can find it. Well, I'll tell you, I'll do this. Okay, Charis Barker, Keller, that's what I want to search. This is my business page. It looks very different than my personal page because it has, this is where I publish stuff. I'm sharing listings, sharing, who's the producers. This is kind of fun. I was at lunch the other day with, we were at the office and we gave Tracy some money and she went and got us some lunch. So I tagged the restaurant that we were having lunch from the cafe. And then they tagged me back and shared it again. So my name got out by the restaurant. Those are things to do. I shared that some clients had sent me some ice cream. These are things that are directly real estate related. This is where I did a short video of a listing I had, things like that. Now I can take each of these and I can share it. And it'll give me the option. I can copy it, or I can more options. I can share it to a group or to a page. I can share it on my personal Facebook if I wanted to. I'm not going to now because these are old, but it works very differently. But I mean, I would not put this on my personal page. When you work with me, you work with the #1 name in real estate. I'm not going to do that.
So where were you saying that you want to make sure that you put that you're employed for
you want to make sure that
business,
it is a business page. There's a difference. You have a personal profile that is about you. That's where you show your pictures of you, your family, what you ate for breakfast, whatever you want to do. Your business page is for your business. So you want to be, there's different content for different ones, but so you have this is my business page versus my profile. And they are tied together. My profile has control of this page, but I can have tons of pages. I can have do as many pages as I want to. And on the page, you have to identify yourself as a real estate agent. I see this mistake a lot with agents, and there will come a time when the commission cracks down on this. But each of these, you see this banner up here? That's I downloaded it from Command. If you go into social media and designs and you're looking for banners, they have a ton of different ones to choose from. But there you go. That's kind of gives you an idea of what we have in designs. I'm going to, once I have this recording back, it'll email me when I have the recording. I'll post it in the Facebook groups and make it where you can go back and watch it if you want to, because we're about out of time now. It's 11 o'clock, but we'll be having another class in about 2 weeks. Shoot me your emails or texts with ideas for classes, and I guarantee you it'll show up sometime, because I run out of ideas on what to do.
I have one quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you connect your Facebook account in Command, I'm looking, so I just did that, and it says connected accounts, but it has my personal account name there. It did ask, I saw when I clicked on it, it did come up with my name for my business page, but I just want to make sure that that's okay, that it's showing connected to my personal account.
It is, because it has to connect to the one that controls your business page.
Gotcha.
And your personal profile controls your business page. So right here for post scheduling for my Facebook, it says Charis Barker. It's connected. When you go into, and then Facebook Ads Manager is also connected to Charis Barker. Neither one of those say Charis Barker, Keller Williams, Lake Oconee. They say, they just have my personal thing. And then if you go into some of your campaigns, when we do like a social media campaign, it'll say which page do you want to post on? Because what if you have a home buyer class and you want to have it somewhat separate from your business page? Because you can pull in a lot of different things for that. I want to post about my home buyer class on both pages, or I might want to post it just on my home buyer page. So I can make an ad to do either one. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
If you connect your personal profile under settings and Command, every time you do a social media post, you'll have a choice of any of the pages you manage to run ads.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Sure. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Well, I will post the Zoom link when we're done, and we will kind of I'll try to relabel it. I'm trying to name each of the classes, so if someone wants to go back and watch it and can't find it, I can email it to you without a password. I've learned how to take the password off. So let me know if there's a class you're particularly wanting to see. I will say this, that if I have a class on it, it's because I've watched videos online, and most of those videos are much more succinct and short. And of course, they don't get distracted like I do with questions and stuff, which are perfectly fine. That's what these classes are for. They are for our market center. A lot of the ones online, you can search YouTube or you can search on Facebook. They're going to be very specific. This is how you do a social media ad, and there's no other commentary. It's just click, 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 and it shows you how to do it. So what takes me an hour and a half to say, they can tell you in like 5 minutes. So I would suggest starting there. And then if you have questions, we can go into stuff like that. So let me know if y'all need anything, and I'm here anytime.
Thank you so much.
Y'all have a good day. Bye.
All right, you too.